Welcome to Therapist A, where licensed professionals talk mental health, make mildly inappropriate jokes, and overshare just enough to keep things interesting and our licenses intact. Brought to you by Full Circle Therapy and Inner Wellness Therapeutic Services, and produced by me, Liz. Disclaimer, yes, we're real therapists, and yes, some of our clients listen, but this podcast, still not therapy. It's for education, entertainment, and a bit of chaos. So keep your weekly appointments and enjoy the show. Now, let's get into today's episode.
And welcome back to another episode of Therapist Say. I'm your host, Mel.
I'm your other host, Liz.
I'm your other host, co-host. William. Berry.
You're William today?
You're William.
Who's William?
Who invited William? Okay. So, shrink wrap?
Right. I have a couple things for shrink wrap.
Oh, okay.
Just, the first is our last episode was about family roles.
Yep.
And I feel like we left out such an important component that I thought of when I was driving, which was part of the reason Liz's question was, why is it hard to change these roles?
Yes.
And I don't think we talked about how people want us to stay in the roles.
Oh.
Like in a system, they kind of want us to stay that way also. Like
People have a hard time seeing us in different roles.
in a different way. Like like if you're the baby, like you were talking about, your brother still is the most, the person who seems to still view you the most as the baby. He's seen you that way for 30 years or maybe a little less, right? Since you've been trying to change it. But that's 30 years of seeing you away. Like there's a thing in one of the books I read about psychology that says the brain sets and forgets.
Right.
Like it learns something and then it doesn't have to think about that anymore because brains are lazy. They're trying to conserve energy. So I see you as the baby, you're the baby. You know what I mean?
Because it would take more work for your brain to see you otherwise.
Right. To update the image it has of you. So sometimes a lot of times people want us in those roles. And when I thought of it, I was like, holy shit, how did we not?
Well, I feel like we kind of touched on that.
Okay.
Because we talked about if shit were to hit the fan with my family, I would go straight back to being the fixer.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, if they can extrapolate that's all roles from that example, then we covered it. But we didn't.
I felt it.
Okay.
In my soul.
All right. And then the only other thing I had is, and this is more humorous, but the last episode, when I left here, I went to visit two of my sons live in North Carolina. So I went to visit them and I met my one son, Ian's girlfriend, for the first time. And I don't want to exaggerate, so I was going to say 5 minutes, but maybe closer to 10. But within 10 minutes of meeting her, my son Ian threw her under the bus saying, Jaden feeling I need to shut up. Like he was like, Jaden, that's her name, feels I need to shut up and let you guys finish more. Like I interrupt Mel a lot. We've established that. And I guess I interrupt you sometimes. And I just talk over you guys. And Jaden was like, man, I wish he would just let them finish. But my son turned it into shut my bitch ass up or something like that.
So kind. Wow.
Yeah. So,
it's encouraging words.
So I'm going to work on that. Yep.
Okay. But it doesn't mean don't speak because we care about your input.
Right. Of course. I will try to speak when spoken. You have to invite me in now. You have to invite me in.
You could speak
Barry,
now.
It's going to be like a 10-minute podcast, if not.
Yeah. Just keep going, Barry. Do you have anything to add? And then I'll add. And then the only other thing I had was, remember we asked people to take a guess. So one person, he said a lot, this person. I think it's
have a surprise for you.
Okay.
One person commented on Spotify.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know this person.
I don't know.
I have, but they guessed correctly.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you have to send them a sticker.
Oh, I do.
Oh, yeah.
Because the winner gets a sticker. So the one that commented on YouTube, which I have, I get the YouTube comments, you guys get the other comments. I was into astrology until I began learning about psychology, and now I give everyone shit who talks about it. But still, my astrology guess for funsies would be Sagittarius. which is
Wrong.
okay. All
Well, on Spotify, T. Livingston? Do you know?
right. Oh,
what
that's
T-
not fair.
Oh, they know you.
Yeah, that's not fair at all. That's not
They
fair.
know when your
at
birthday is?
all.
101
Yeah.
said,
Yeah, that's not fair.
oh, so they don't get a sticker?
No.
They already got all the stickers. They're a super fan, and I sent them all the stickers. But they know me very well. That's not fair.
Oh.
And
Did
they
you
know.
just tell my?
Yep. There you go. It's out on the
What the
open.
fuck?
I wasn't allowed to
fuck?
say it?
He said he
You
didn't
didn't
want
have
them to
to.
know.
You didn't have to say the correct one. Now
I'll
everybody out
bleep
there,
it.
everybody out there right now is like, 100%, 100%. That's what they're doing right now.
I could bleep it. We'll be like,
Please do.
bleep.
Please do.
Oh, did we know that we had a question on here? Sometimes these get lost for me. There's a question
Oh
on
boy.
here. For
What are we gonna do with her, Mel?
I'm
The
going to take
baby
that
of-
away from you
Should-
The
too.
baby of the family. I know.
What is it, Spotify?
yeah,
Oh, I have
the
it.
app. It's the No for Creators app.
Yeah, I have it because I didn't trust
We
it.
have those questions. I think Mel's saying.
No, well, I didn't
Wait a minute.
look.
I spoke without being asked to.
Wait, apparently,
No, that's not.
did we answer this question? Because we said that's a great question. Stay tuned, and we will answer on 9/5, September 5th. I wonder if we answered
What was the question?
the question. Or are we getting right into it then? Question?
I was
done?
done with shrink
Oh.
wrap. Did you guys have anything for shrink wrap?
No, my mom said that she thinks it's very funny that I don't want to be the mayor of Crazy Town.
Oh,
Yeah, she thought it was
Good.
humorous.
okay. Well, I'm glad she's not offended.
No, it didn't seem like
Yeah,
it.
it's
Crazy
good.
Town. Yeah, good.
Right.
You guys escaped any trouble with that topic?
No trouble.
No trouble. Yeah.
Wow.
No trouble.
Mm-mm.
Excellent. Maybe we can stir some up today.
Yeah,
All right,
we're
cool.
getting more confident in our
Right.
pot stirring.
Yeah, and I feel that maybe you guys are getting more confident that they're not going to take it so seriously and be upset.
Right.
Or listen.
Or
Right.
listen.
Or listen. Or listen. Right.
We know
Listeners-
we know Dad's not listening.
Our
So.
our listeners are growing though, right? I feel
Yes.
YouTube is definitely growing.
Yes.
Yes, I think it has spread. Like it's spread out, right? So there's a lot of listeners on YouTube, a lot on Spotify. But if you look just on one, like on Spotify, it looks like it's going down. But it's because we have more platforms, so we are growing.
All right.
That
Good.
is true.
That's the point.
Yep.
Okay, so are we ready to get into
Well, I think we're ready.
All right. First, thanks to those that replied. I
Right.
appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. We did some begging for
Yeah.
questions, and we got it.
Yes.
You don't have to tell people that.
We did. We
Well, it was on
put it
social
out
media.
there. Like
I was-
he literally like said he would give our phone numbers.
Right. That was a joke. You guys didn't even seem to get it. I was like, if you want to contact them personally, I will give you their number.
No,
And
no, I
you
got
guys
it, and I
didn't-
was like,
you
all
guys
right.
didn't even reach out. Like, Berry, what are you saying
We were
in
like,
this
that's
video?
fine. Whatever
Yeah.
it
Right.
takes.
I'm like, sure,
Right.
text me.
Wow.
I'm sure anyone can find my phone number in like 10 seconds.
I guess we're going to test that theory.
Whatever, I'll just block them if it's somebody I don't want to talk to.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right, who's going first?
You?
Okay,
I
I
thought
have.
you were. You have a question from 9-6. Like,
Oh,
maybe we should
okay.
prioritize that.
So, yeah, Nina,
No?
What if we
9-6.
don't like it?
Oh,
nine-
Nina.
Yeah, Nina.
Oh,
I feel like Nina's asked these questions. Go ahead.
Did we answer this?
I don't know.
Okay. When doing couples therapy, have you ever
Oh, no.
thought to yourself that your clients are not compatible and would be better broken up? How do you handle doing couples therapy with couples who may feel cannot overcome their conflicts? Melissa's
Oh.
face is lighting up with joy.
We-
Mine too.
Yeah.
I'm so ready for this.
we never
didn't answer this, correct?
this.
We
No,
never did answer.
Sorry, Nina, 10 weeks ago. Hope you still listen.
I would have gone to town with this one. Okay, well, my favorite is the emotional needs questionnaire, and I always bust it out.
At least you're not coughing.
Oh my God, you reminded him. No, he's gonna start
He's
clearing
trying.
his throat.
Start clearing his throat.
He's gonna spit out the water.
What are you guys doing? I'm trying to.
Oh my God, Elizabeth!
What? What did she do?
She reminded you of your clearing your throat, and
But I
then you
didn't.
cleared your throat.
No, you just did.
All right, I'll try to take a drink.
Oh man, we were doing so good without having to take things out.
No, leave this. Leave this segment.
Just
I'm gonna buy you a new water bottle that you don't have
silent
I
to.
love that water bottle.
silent water bottle.
All right, come on.
Okay, emotional needs questionnaire for
I feel like she's yelling at us.
couples that I feel like are not compatible. So I start out with the questionnaire. We look to see what is completely off. If they cannot agree to compromise on fulfilling each other's needs, then I point that out. And sometimes I have told a couple that if they can't agree, I don't see how this is going to work.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's
The correct answer.
that's it.
You get an A.
Thank you. That's what I do.
I mean, in my work with couples also, I do feel the goal is for both of them to be happy, and that's not necessarily being happy together. Like I've actually told a couple that I saw a few times that they weren't willing to compromise. I didn't use the emotional needs questionnaire. I wasn't even aware of it back then, honestly. And I told them they wouldn't compromise. Like these were the lines they're drawing in the sand. This is what they need from each other. Neither was willing to give it. And I was like, then I guess it's best to split up. And then they didn't come back, and I assumed they split up. And then about a year later, they reached out to see me again. And I was like,
Yes.
okay. And it was the same issue. The same issue.
I did have one couple that I sat there and I said, this is not going to work. Like, this is not working. We've been back and forth with this for over a year. And they went home. And one of the partners ended up telling me that because I said that, one of the partners said that they were going to make sure that they did not get a divorce, and they were going to make sure that they were going to stay together to prove me wrong. And they've never been happier.
That's great. That works too.
It worked. So it worked. But of course, they ended up compromising.
Right.
Because I said, I don't think it's going to work if you don't compromise. And so then they did.
I feel like my main answer to that is it's what's going to make you both the happiest. It's not about saving the marriage or the relationship. It's about what's going to make everybody the happiest. And sometimes that is splitting up, not always.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do you feel we've answered that?
Yeah, I don't work with couples, so
Right.
I don't.
You've been obviously silent through that.
Right. I don't have much input in that department.
Well, it's my fave.
Okay.
We know.
All right.
Okay.
Next
Okay.
question.
I have
Next
a great
question.
question. Me next.
Very.
Oh my God. I don't even know how I'm going to take that shit out.
Yeah, you could take that out.
I
There was
sure
no other
hope so.
talking.
I hope.
That should be easy. There was no other talking.
Sometimes it's like this weird squiggle.
Right, because it can't like get it.
Yeah.
something.
Or whatever. We'll see. I'll let you know. Okay. Can emotional intimacy with someone outside your relationship ever be harmless, or is it always crossing a line?
I mean, you're both married. I feel like you guys should answer that first. Do we want to give the person credit, or they're anonymous?
Maybe.
No,
We want to
it's.
keep them anonymous.
I feel like she'd be okay with it.
Okay.
I mean, not that I know, but it was Elena.
I guess I would like your perspective, but I have my own.
Okay, so emotional intimacy sounds like a mouthful when you're
Right.
in a committed relationship. And so I go to the emotional needs questionnaire because intimate conversation is one of the emotional needs. So if you're feeling like you have to be engaging in intimate conversation with someone outside of the relationship, then I feel like that need is not being met in your relationship, and then there's a problem.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I feel like men and women can be friends. Like a woman can have a male friend, or it doesn't have to be male or women. It could be same sex, but it can't cross the line. And maybe sometimes emotional conversation can cross the line.
I think so. I think...
We got to start making Liz go first.
Why?
Because she's just agreeing.
I feel like you agree with Mel
agreeable?
often.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's part of my
I
therapy.
know.
We're trying.
I feel like we got to start making you go first so that...
No, but because I was thinking, I think this is a difficult question. And if I would just put myself in those shoes, like if I knew my husband was having
emotional intimacy.
like with somebody at work, right? Maybe just like a situation like that. That makes me feel very uncomfortable. Because it does make me feel like, okay, then what are we not doing at home? Like in terms of emotional intimacy.
Right.
Now, maybe I'm thinking about it too deeply. Like, because I feel like you can still have intimate conversations in like the workplace or with someone, but it doesn't mean you want to leave your relationship. I feel like you can look at it both ways.
Well, the question was, I see you raised your hand, Barry.
This is an episode that you should be watching, not just listening to.
Maybe I'll finish my statement. But I forgot it. It's gone because I got distracted.
Barry, you have something to...
I had a question. I had a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, have you guys ever heard of the term like work wife and
Yeah.
work husband?
Yes.
So what do you make of that? Is that not like when someone call like, oh, this is my work husband, or oh, this is my work wife?
Like if someone was calling my husband their work husband, that's extremely inappropriate. Like if a female was like, oh, Ed in office, whatever, is my work husband. No, that's I think very inappropriate.
So Joe works in a hospital and he has a lot of female work friends. I don't know if any of them call him like my work husband, but I know that he's a friendly guy, and I know that, you know, he has friendly relationships with his friends at work. And they could be women, and I'm okay with it. I feel comfortable because I feel like we have open conversation about like, oh, my work friend at work, and you know, today whatever, like it could come up, and I'm not threatened by that.
Do you think any of those female coworkers might view Joe as their work husband?
This is a weird day. The lights started flickering. Halloween.
Yeah. I don't know if the spirits were trying to tell me something while the lights flickered.
Melissa.
They're flickering again to confirm.
Oh my god. Okay, so maybe I think that we're in a really good place in our relationship, and if somebody were to be calling him their work husband, I think I would probably chuckle and be like, what the hell? But
Okay.
I guess it depends how you feel about the relationship. It's kind of like what I say. Like if you feel like you have to look through your partner's phone to investigate, it's probably because things...
Was that it?
I don't know. I would chuckle, I guess. If
Maybe that's also your personality, because I just don't think I would chuckle. And maybe that just speaks more about me than anything.
you would be mad. You would be upset.
Yeah. I just would think it was inappropriate. Like, I don't know, I wouldn't be, like, upset to take it to a level of, like, how dare you? But I would more be like, that's inappropriate. Like, I don't want anyone calling my husband their pretend husband. It's just how I would feel about it. Maybe it's because I'm also younger. And my marriage is younger, too.
But going back to the original question, it was about emotional intimacy.
Right.
I'm kind of assuming if someone is calling someone their work husband or work wife, there's some level of emotional intimacy.
Right. You don't just say
know.
that to
I don't
anyone.
know, but that's what I'm assuming.
Yeah. I think that's how we got there.
I would have a hard time calling somebody my work husband. It just doesn't feel right. Like we work with a few men. Yeah. And I mean, we're friendly and nice to everybody, but I don't think I would ever let it like get to that point. And we're all therapists, so we're hanging out in the lounge and we're often talking about emotional things.
So there is some emotional intimacy.
Yeah, sometimes personal topics might come up. We're very open to if it's somebody's having a bad day. I could tell. And I'm like, hey, are you okay? I don't want them to be like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, I welcome honesty, and if you need to talk, we have an open door policy. But because we're therapists, I'm able to put on that therapist hat as I'm just being like a caring person and coworker. So I guess there could be some emotional.
Right.
Maybe there could be some.
Yeah, I just
changed your answer.
I changed my answer.
You did.
I did because I processed it a little further. Fine.
I mean, what I was going to add, I don't think I'm the best one to ask this question to, honestly, because I feel like, I don't know, I'm not like married. I don't have any of that kind of stuff going on, but I have read things, and I think Esther Perel, famous couples therapist, says like one of our issues is we're putting all of our needs into one person, and they can't possibly meet all those needs always. Point. So, I think the answer is kind of what you guys were saying. Like, am I able to draw the line and not get attached? Right? Like, you're right. We're therapists. And as therapists, we have very intimate relationships, one way, mostly relationships with our clients. And we don't get attached, right? We're able to put that boundary. And I don't know if the average person can do that. Exactly. I think intimacy, like people sexualize intimacy a lot, where if I'm sharing stuff with you, all of a sudden now I'm attracted to you. And
we're trained
we're trained to
not feel that way.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's why I'm having a hard time with that question, because I can understand it as a therapist perspective. I can listen to my clients. I care about my clients.
I don't know how to answer the question in a black and white way.
Right.
Because I do believe we should have emotional intimacy outside of our relationship. Like if I'm married to someone and they're driving me nuts and I need to tell somebody they're driving me nuts, that's kind of emotional intimacy. I can tell them about it, but also I need somewhere to talk about my issues. Therapy is that person going to therapy is having an intimate relationship with their therapist. They have friends, that are that have emotional intimacy. It doesn't always have to be opposite sex, right? Like I'm sure you guys have emotional intimacy with each other.
As you were talking, I was thinking that we go to each other when we need to vent about something.
I mean, if you have a very close friend, or you guys are best friends and your siblings, right? But if you have, like, let's say I don't have a sibling or whatever, and I have a best friend, that is an emotionally intimate relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the problem is when people hear the word intimacy, they think sexualized also. And I think that's
I agree.
I think the way that I answered the question the first time was more for people that are not therapists or in the psychology field.
But they still need someone to talk to besides their partner. Like you guys both said, I don't want to call you out in front of millions of viewers, right? And whatever. It's
inappropriate. It feels inappropriate.
It feels inappropriate, yet
it's okay for us.
It's okay for you guys.
Kind of, yeah. It's what.
Yeah, like
there's a fine line.
Maybe I'm just not giving the average person enough credit of how they can handle emotional intimacy, because I think I'm like, I know I can handle it without it being inappropriate.
Right.
And I'm just assuming other people aren't capable of that who aren't therapists, and maybe that's not fair.
And also, it doesn't have to be opposite sex.
Right.
Like you can have a best friend of the same sex and be heterosexual and have emotional intimacy. The problem is with men, they're much more comfortable disclosing to women emotional topics because like there was a guy I knew, and he would talk to me about like emotional topics, and I would bust his balls even though I'm a therapist. You know what I mean? Like I didn't put on my therapist hat like Mel does. I put on my gym bro hat and was like, no, like don't worry about it. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you know what I mean? So I think men have a tougher time having emotional intimacy with each other sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
Because of the bro thing atmosphere. I mean, I think that's getting better. We have bromances now, movies, and younger generation is better at that, or they have an easier time with it. But, you know, I think that's kind of what we're talking about is we're thinking opposite sex in heterosexual bias way. And that does, like, it walks a line. It walks a line that is dangerous, I think.
Yeah. I work primarily with couples who are working through infidelity. And that's how it starts. All of it starts with some emotional intimacy, intimate conversations, venting a little bit, and then feeling starts.
Tough.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. It's a dangerous line. And I don't know that a lot of people, like, things are, there's a term in psychology. I learned it in psychology called the slippery slope.
Yeah.
Right? Is that a psychology term?
I've always thought it was like a regular term.
Me
like
too.
Yeah, I
everybody
think it
uses.
probably is, but I don't know. Outside of psychology, I'd never heard of it. I'm clearing my throat. I feel like I sound like a frog. So I feel like that can be a slippery slope. And what happens on a slippery slope is you start out thinking this is no
Like,
risk, this is no
big deal.
danger, and it picks up speed, and you're still like, I'm fine, and you're quickly sliding into an area that is dangerous. So,
Yep. And then you don't know how to get out of it.
right.
Yep.
I hope that was helpful.
Next question.
Okay, that was a
Yeah.
great question. Love it
That
so
was
much.
a great
Yeah.
question. What's our next question?
Mel, you have the question.
I thought you had another one. I have some also.
I have like two more. How about you go? We each said one, so now you say one of yours.
What about Liz?
I said one. Mine was the first one.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll ask one of mine. Ours is from a super fan named Stephanie. Who is that?
Must be a new fan.
A new one, yeah.
Sounds like the secretary.
It can't be her. Can it? So her question is, how has being a therapist changed the way you view life? And she was referring to me initially that I used to drive a truck, and then I got into psychology, right? And then you guys have had previous jobs as well, or I think she was under the impression you've done nothing with your life except go to college and open this practice.
Had many
Right.
jobs beforehand, but
Right.
it's
So
okay. It's okay, Steph.
we kind of tossed that around earlier.
Wait,
and
so what's the question?
We all had previous jobs. Like, the way I'm interpreting it is when I drove a truck versus now I'm a therapist. How has it changed the way I see life?
Okay.
Do you
Liz,
guys want me to go
am I answering first
Yes,
this time?
you
Since
have to
you
go
guys think I'm
first.
just so agreeable. It's fine. For me, I just have a lot more patience now. I don't know if this is me being a therapist or me going to therapy. I was even having this conversation with Mel the other day, this morning.
Seems like the other day.
It was actually this morning. But since being in therapy, more so even recently, I have a much higher tolerance for people. I'm not taking things so personal, and I think that has a lot more to do with like the work I've done on myself. I think for me, it's very easy to walk out of the therapy door and like, I'm not a therapist in terms of like me seeing clients. I think a lot of times people think like we're therapists and we're therapists all the time, right? Sometimes that's true. Sometimes that's not. Me, Liz walks out the door, I'm no longer a therapist. Like it doesn't translate for me and sometimes in my life. But I think in the most recent years, as I've gotten older, even my immediate family with like my husband and children have grown and gotten a little older, I've also really started to realize like, one, things maybe aren't that serious and everybody's doing their best. And so I think for me, it's not necessarily that therapy has changed my view on life in the world, but more so when I have done my own work on myself.
Okay.
I need your therapist's number because
Yeah, he sounds
I want to
her.
be less impatient with people. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I need to go
Yeah.
back to therapy.
I'll let you know offline.
All right, cool. All right.
Oh, I think we've talked about this before, maybe on the podcast. I'm not sure, but I feel like my best self is my therapist self. So I try to bring that into a lot of aspects of my life. Because I feel like that's where I'm the most patient. That's where I'm the most optimistic, the most positive, the most mindful, grounded. So I try to incorporate that into most, like in how I parent and how I deal with my relationship with my husband. And obviously I can't do it perfectly every time, and I'm human. And so, you know, it doesn't translate into every second of my life, but I know that that's my best self. So I think that's how therapy has shaped the way that I look at life. Doing therapy and being in therapy, I think both.
Cool.
Equally.
That gave me a chance to think about my answer. Like, I've been mulling this over just sitting here. And I think that's a great answer. I think before I was a therapist, my best self wasn't so great. And even though I fall way short of my best self a lot of the time, in fact, we were having this discussion in a class today where a student was pointing out that I don't seem like a therapist, like that I complain about clients sometimes, which of course, like, and he was like, because he was considering it judging. And I was like, I don't feel that's judging. I feel that's more a statement about me because I'm tired. I'm worn out. Like, I'm busy, you know what I mean? So things get on my nerves more than necessarily I'm judging the client, but whatever. But yeah, it was kind of like, I don't know. It was this idea. He basically said he views therapists as like all Buddhas. And I was like, okay, I wish he would listen to the podcast because I feel like part of the purpose of this podcast is we're humans.
Right.
Like, we've all messed up. We all do things that are whatever, you know. I cut you guys off all the time during the podcast, right? Like, we're all a little,
we're not
whatever.
always 100% mindful every moment of the day.
Which would be very difficult, right? And exhausting, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm trying, but I like your answer because I feel like I was trying to think, like, I was in a program of personal growth before I became a therapist, but being a therapist has amplified, or, you know, it's like 10 times what it was before I went into being a counselor of any kind. So I feel like it has expedited my best self, even though I fall short way more than I want to. Yeah. Like, my goal would be to be my therapist self all the time.
That's a nice
But then I
goal
wonder,
to have.
is that my goal? Because
That
then
might-
why don't I? But because I don't know.
Well, because you're human.
Yeah, you're human, but also I feel like it. Like, one of the guys I listen to on a podcast, he talks about his edge. Like, he's afraid. It's a very Buddhist podcast, and he meditates a lot, and he's a little worried about losing his edge, right? And I feel like if I were my therapist self all the time, I wouldn't have my edge, and I like my edge. Like, I like being sarcastic and busting.
Right, you wouldn't be
balls.
as funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe wouldn't feel
Right.
the most like authentic.
So do I really want to be that all the time? Probably not, you know?
Yeah.
Well, it's exhausting, like you said. Like, for us, and I mean, I think probably the feeling is mutual. When we finish a whole day of seeing like however many clients, maybe 5, 6, however, we're drained.
Right.
Like, we're exhausted, like, you know, thinking of the other person. And it's not to say that we don't think of other people in our outside life.
Of course.
But like, it's very different in the therapy room. Like, it's really not about us in any shape, way, or form. It is just about one person. And so, yeah, of course, we're our best selves in there because everybody wants to be heard and listened to. That's our job. That's what they pay us for.
Right.
But we can't do that all the time because we have needs too.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess I like your answer. That's pretty much my answer. Also, I feel like it's just amplified and accelerated my best self movement, which I'm still working on and still trying to improve.
Most of us are very pro therapies. Most therapists have a therapist. I think every therapist I've ever met has at least been to therapy once or tried therapy. So I think even that helps us and kind of pushes us even more to do that internal work. That maybe someone else who doesn't understand therapy, who isn't a therapist, it would be like, oh no, I don't need that. But most of us agree that we do.
Right. I feel like it changed my life also. Like, I was miserable before I made a decision to get into counseling.
Mhm.
And I was still miserable for a while after that. But I do feel like there's one of the books I read, I think it's called Transcend. He breaks down our like what we do for a living as jobs, careers, callings.
Oh.
And I feel like this is my calling. Like my calling has been therapy, psychology, whatever you want to call it. And that has so much more aligned my life, where I'm nowhere near as miserable as I was when I was just having a job.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a good.
So-
That sounds like a good book. You
Yeah,
said it was a book,
It's
right?
called Transcend. It like takes Maslow's work and goes beyond. He
Wow.
feels Maslow. It's by a psychologist named Scott Barry Kaufman.
Wow, that sounds.
Yeah, he has a podcast called the Psychology Podcast, which I don't like. I shared that today. Like, I don't like him.
Oh.
Like, when I hear him on a podcast, he annoys me. Like, I don't like his humor.
Okay, but you enjoyed the book?
Yes.
Great.
Good book.
Great book. Okay.
Yeah, I really loved the book. Yes. It had a lot of aspects in it. It had attachment style in it to some degree, because it was about not just the hierarchy of needs, but getting beyond that, like transcending. It's not just about, am I achieving my potential? It's about, how am I changing the world?
I love that.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
That's cool.
I like
Yeah.
that a lot. Okay, that was
All right,
a good
next
question
question.
too.
I don't know.
You don't have any more?
No.
She doesn't have any more. She's busy with a lot of other things these days.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I have another question. It is, why do we shut down instead of communicating when we're hurt by someone we love? You go first, because we all took turns
Go
going
first. All right. I think it's just our natural defenses. That's like the first thing that comes to my mind is I'm trying to protect myself, right? So I feel attacked, right? Like my loved one says something that hurts me, and I think shutting down is like an immediate response. I don't even know that it's a bad response, honestly. I feel like sometimes shutting down is the best response, because if I respond angrily, I'm going to escalate,
Right.
and I might say things that are awful. So shutting down allows the person to emotionally regulate before they come back to it. They're hurt. Like, they're hurt. Their system is reacting. It could be fight, flight, freeze.
Look at you using systems.
Yeah. So freezing, right? Like, I might be freezing because I feel like that's the best survival technique I have at this moment. And it's for them. Like, you know, I don't know what else to say.
When
That's my answer.
When it becomes a problem with my couples, usually what I suggest is to just communicate the fact that you are choosing to shut down in that moment, and then agree to come back to it maybe 24 hours later is the best
Right.
case.
I think
Like,
within 24
Yeah.
hours. The book I read a book about anger a while ago, and it said you should try to resolve it within 24 hours.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people believe it's best before bed, before you go to sleep. But if you can't do that, like within, like sometimes you need to go to sleep. Like I had a client recently that says they need to sleep to reset.
Right.
Like it resets them. You know?
Yeah, I am a big advocate for sleeping on it. And sometimes we cannot resolve things before going to bed because it just gets heated and it gets worse.
Okay, but I feel like I have a question about that. If that's okay for one partner, but what if the other partner, it is really difficult for them to really leave things completely unresolved? Because it sounds like that's choosing one of the partners. No.
Style over the other.
Over the other. Like, what's the middle?
I guess what I would do if I were their therapist, let's say you're the person that is bad at
Going to sleep.
going to sleep when
Right.
you're angry, and you would like some resolution. And then Edster, in this totally fake scenario, Edster wants to sleep on it. I feel like what Mel's saying is if you can communicate that in a loving way,
Right.
Yeah.
then that can be okay, right? Like,
Right.
look, if we talk about this now, it's gonna get worse.
Right.
Like,
Right.
we're gonna I mean, hopefully the person can see we're going to be okay, right? I just need to calm down before we address them.
Yeah. And you have to promise to come back to
Right.
it, not
I
just
agree.
like shove it under a rug and never get back to it, because that's what leaves you with that feeling of anxiety. The only way I could compare it to is like an anxious feeling of like, this is unresolved. Because a lot of times the shutting down looks like walking away mid-sentence or getting in your car and driving off. Like, that doesn't feel good. That's shutting down, and you shut me out, and now I don't even know, like, are we still married? Like, what's happening? So that's why I like to say, if one partner feels like they need some space to think about it or to just cool off, then you have to communicate that with your partner. I need an hour. I need to sleep on this. I promise that we'll talk about this in the morning. I promise we'll talk about this after we put the kids to bed. Like, so yeah.
Well, how do you feel about that being the fake person in this scenario? Like, if your partner
I think,
said
but
to
it's
you-
about communicating it. And I feel like a lot of times when a partner shuts down, they're not communicating.
Right.
Hey, I need a moment. Like, I feel like sometimes people just go to bed and then someone's like, what's
Right.
going on? Like, what is, like, what's next?
Right. I mean, I do see that happen as well in couples. I forget recently, I feel like that was a story recently I heard in therapy about like shutting down and we're just not getting along right now, and there's no communication for days sometimes. Yeah, I think it's best if there can be some communication. I don't know. I mean, it's tough the other way. Like, if the person won't communicate, I don't know. Like, the bottom line is it comes back to me. Like, how can I be okay with what is happening? Like, can I have faith in the relationship surviving this? And that we will come back to it. What's the previous? Has this happened before? What was the outcome then?
Right.
Like, stuff like that. Like, ways to self-soothe, I guess, would be my advice. But yeah, I think it's a defense. Like, it's a natural defense for some people is to shut down.
Yeah. Right. The question was, why do we do this?
I think it's an automatic
Yeah, Barry said, like,
response.
to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, the books I read about like EMDR and ego states and stuff like that this is like part our biological response and part our learned response from our early childhood experiences where shutting down was the best. Like, if I talk back to my dad, I might get knocked on my ass. You know what I mean? Or if I just try to talk, I might get knocked on my ass. So, you know what I mean? So it's very possible, like, this is a very learned, ingrained thing. They're not like regulated at that moment. Their frontal lobe isn't online, right? Making good decisions. They're making decisions out of kind of a lower brain fight or flight response, and this is the one they think is best for survival.
Right.
Yeah, I think maybe I could speak for the both of us, Liz and I. We're therapists, and so we're big on, no, we need to resolve this and we need to communicate,
Right.
whereas in maybe our partner is not as inclined to want to do that.
That's something
right
I've
away.
definitely tried to work on in the last few years, because I'm like, no, like, we can talk about it and we can have this conversation and let's resolve it right now. Like, I'll listen, but Eddie maybe will be like, I need to go to sleep. Like, I don't want to talk about it, but like, let's talk.
Right. And that's where we have to.
And I've learned
Self-soothe.
I've had to correct that myself. Like, it is okay. I don't need to resolve it right now. Like, it's okay. Just because I want to talk about it doesn't mean it needs to be talked about.
In that exact moment. Yeah.
Right.
Right. Okay.
All right. I think maybe we have time for like one more.
A couple more.
Barry, do you have any more questions?
I have a couple more, but I think we only have time for one.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Is intelligence really genetic?
Okay. Are we going to say who shared that question?
Edster.
Sure. Okay.
Mystery Edster.
Okay. I think this is a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Barry.
I think there's definitely a genetic component,
Right.
right? I think, I think what studies show is there's definitely a genetic component, and the genetic component is a range, which is then affected by the environment, right? And if you have a growth mindset, like the growth mindset is I can learn new things, then you can push your intelligence to a higher part of the range. But the range is set
by parents and genetics.
Well, genetics.
Yeah, by genetics.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's definitely genetic. I do.
Right.
I don't have a lot of
the range.
Yeah,
is genetic.
I don't have a lot of facts about this, but
Okay.
but that's really what I felt before you started to share some facts.
Well, what led you to that belief?
Well, I feel like it was really difficult for me to start to read when I was little. When I was, whatever age you are when you start to read. I remember I was the last one to read. I wasn't very good at math, still am not. I must have had some sort of reading disability.
I do.
Okay. You were actually tested?
I was actually tested. My mom took me because they thought I was struggling a lot in the first grade to learn to read. They thought I either had like ADHD or dyslexia. I think they were mostly concerned with dyslexia, not so much the ADHD part. And my mom took me, and I have called her out on this a million times. I discovered my own testing when I was in grad school. I was taking the testing class, and I was like, oh, I know you took me to get tested. My mom's very organized and had those documents like filed away in her office. And I started reading through them. And one of the diagnoses for me was a reading block, that I had a reading block, which that's why it made it so hard for me to read. And I never knew. I had absolutely no idea. I mean, granted, I remember after that, I did have like some accommodations. I went to Catholic school, and now I think Catholic schools and private schools have a lot more accommodations.
Yeah.
But back then, not really. Like the most I got in Catholic school was that they would pull me out at a certain time, usually the most fun time. So it was very traumatic as a child. Look at Liz's self-disclosure today. And they would make me read these little books. I remember the person was not very good at their job, because if I would get stuck on a word, I would have to sit there and try to read the word until I finally either guessed it correctly or begged her to tell me what the hell the word was that I was reading. I think it made it make sense when I was older of like, oh, that's why it was so hard for me to read and to learn, but I have absolutely no problem reading now.
Right. Well, we're siblings.
Yes.
Maybe I probably had some sort of learning disability. My middle daughter is diagnosed with dyslexia. She has wonderful accommodations at school, and she's getting really good grades with the accommodation. We've helped her a lot through that. But that's why I kind of feel like it's genetic, because I must have had something. She has dyslexia. It does run in families, according to my little bit of research on dyslexia. So that's what I think.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think the fact you're siblings, it's very possible you got tested
And she didn't.
and she didn't,
Right.
and she's older. Like maybe you also kind of said your mom wasn't all that. Like,
it was very
embracing of the
taboo.
testing.
It was taboo.
Right.
Like she was like,
So-
oh, okay, you guys, she's not dyslexic. Great. Like she doesn't have ADHD. Okay, like let's
Right.
move on. And I think in her defense, the most they could give me accommodations for in the private school setting I was in, I got it. But again, this was a while ago and there wasn't like, nobody gave me extra time. I probably really needed the extra time. I always had a tutor 3 days a week, and that helped me a lot. Like as a child, because I needed the one-on-one time. I needed someone to like explain something to me. And when I did have that individual time, I did great. I remember I was a kid. Nobody wants to go to tutoring. So I would beg my mom like, no, I don't want to go. But then I would suffer more because then my grades would slip. Like when my mom, I guess she would feel bad because she probably saw that I hated it. And I was doing good, but I was doing well because I had the tutor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And like it sounds very genetic.
Right.
And it's very possible because of you're older and because of the stigma, they never got you tested. Right. I'm super smart and I don't know why. So
I hate you.
I think my kids are pretty smart.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Great.
That's all I got. That's all I got for
Well,
that
we
one.
think it's genetic.
We think it's genetic.
Well,
But the environment can
range.
influence.
yeah. I think socioeconomic status would play a huge part. And there's a thing called social capital. Like, do they take their kids
Right.
to like concerts and stuff like that, which also affluence helps with that a lot.
Exactly.
You know, I always joke in a class I teach that talks about that. It's like it's an the psychology of adolescence class, and it talks about social capital. And I'm like, I have robbed my kids of that. Like, I did not take my kids to art museums. One time, my son and I went to Philadelphia, and I was like, "What do you want to do?" He's like, "Want to go to the art museum?" And I was like, okay, because he wanted to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that is not something I would do.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and I think art's great, but I don't have to go there
Yeah.
to look at it. But yeah, I'll Google it. No,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm outing myself as an unsophisticated human being right now. But
It's okay.
okay.
also,
You have
I
other
was
qualities.
joking when I said I'm super intelligent. I mean, I'm all right, but
You're
like
not
that was a joke. No, that was a joke. I don't think anybody got it.
I mean, I feel
I'm
like
super intelligent. I don't know why. And it was like, move on. All right.
okay.
My kids are pretty intelligent. Yeah.
So are they not?
I think no. My kids
No, but
are.
I think they
my
are.
kids
I kind of
are.
agree.
My kids are very intelligent. I think, but not because of affluence. Because I wasn't affluent ever, still not, and
Maybe.
I didn't give them the social capital that, like going to concerts, you know, reading novels. Like, we didn't do that. You know.
Well, maybe because of genetics.
Yeah, maybe that's, you know. Hopefully.
Okay. Great.
I mean, their moms both have degrees,
Right.
you know, went to college, did well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
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 Okay, great.
Let's go with genetics.
Genetics.
I'm going to go with genetics.
Okay.
But there's always an environmental influence.
Right.
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 Two things can be true at the same time.
They often are. That seems to be our new tagline.
It's going to be a sticker about it.
Therapists say
Two things.
Two things can be true at the same time.
yes, they
Right.
can. All right. Well, I think this was great. I liked all our questions.
Yeah. My favorite
Yeah.
part was the flickering of the lights.
Oh, yeah. Right at that moment when we said Joe, if Joe had a
Oh.
work wife.
Yeah.
Right.
And the spirits were telling
Wow.
me
If
yes.
it starts blinking again,
Oh, God.
what are you going to do? Go through his phone?
No way.
No.
That is
You don't do that.
beyond
That's right.
me.
Right.
Right.
At this point in my life.
Ign-
Not even. Like, I feel like if you feel like you have to, then, you know, seek and you shall find. And I don't think I need to seek. So,
Cool.
Okay. Anyways.
Do you think we have enough material, or should we do another
No,
question?
we're,
or
No, I think we're
we
good.
got a lot.
all today?
Yeah.
All right.
all right. So that's the wrap on this episode of Therapist Say. I'm your host, Mel.
I'm your other host, Liz.
I'm your co-host, Barry.
William.
Barry.
He's Barry now.
William Berry.
Yes.
Legal name.
And that's a wrap on this episode of Therapist Say. Your copay is emotional vulnerability and a 5-star review. Whether you're here for the chaos, the clinical insight, or just to feel better about your own life choices, then thanks for hanging out. New episodes drop monthly, so don't ghost us. Follow along and come back for more rants, realizations, and whatever this is.